Hi, it's Dr. Kim Marie, and I want to talk today about what you do when you're tripping over your shit. First of all, I don't mean to offend anybody with my language, but I just like to really keep it real. Let's have real talk here. Um, what do we do, right? So what is tripping over our shit? Where does it come from? It comes from that limited mindset, those beliefs that just want to take us out of the game. But really, ultimately, the energy that it comes from is fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of being judged, fear of not knowing something, fear of looking stupid, fear of failing, right? So that is what drives the inner critic. And that inner critic drives a fast bus, right? It can take us on this road that can become sheer panic. And it drives behaviors that can actually cause self-sabotage. So because we fall into this perfectionism mindset, we fall into this belief that we're not enough, right? So it's like, how are we supposed to grow? How are we supposed to up level if we have all this debilitating thoughts and beliefs that can really take us out of the game? So what do you do? What do you do when you're tripping over your shit and you want to get to that next goal? You want to up level and you want to make a difference, but then you get caught up. So for me, you have to name it, right? It's either there's two energy. There's either a place of love, inspiration, compassion, growth, possibility, and then there's fear, there's limitation, there's disempowerment, there's doubt, there's all these things to take us down. And so many people don't want to put it in the category of fear because they say, well, I'm not afraid. But when you really break it down, are they empowering thoughts? Because if they're not empowering thoughts, then it's fear. So just for sense of ease, it's love and fear. And I know this is why I want to call it fear, is because whenever I'm going to do something big, like I've been doing, getting invited to do summits, speaking summits, and events where I can really make a difference and share my message. But along with that, I need to let you know that I have a terrified little girl inside. So 4 things inevitably happen whenever I know that I'm going to up level. I'm going to be doing something that is stretching me. The first thing is that I agree to do it. And the second thing is I have sheer panic. That little girl inside is like stuck to my leg, like, why did you have me do this? I'm not, if anyone only knew that you do this or you have that or you're failing, all the negative things that we tell ourselves that are not enough, right? If they only knew that I'm an imposter in some way, right? We all do this to ourselves. And so it's that fear, but it's holding that little girl's hand and saying, yes, I get it. So she's 3 years old, and imagine this 3-year-old little girl or boy that you have, and you just imagine that we can hold her hand, and we can know for her that it's going to be okay, and that we're going to take that step forward. And that step forward is guided, because when we plug into the center of who we are, we get present, we do the tools that I teach about breathing and grounding and getting present and tapping into your inner wisdom, then you're going to get the next step. And that next step is right for you. And so you can trust, because it's intuitively coming from you. It's your guidance. You can trust it. You can feel that you can trust it. It's like when you lean into anything with your body and your intuition, you can feel when something feels inviting and good, and when something feels really bad. It just feels off, right? And there's a difference between that feeling off and fear. Fear will try to confuse you. But that's where you do the tools, you get yourself grounded, breathe, ground, connect. Like a lot of the videos that I talk about, it is that simple. It's not easy because you have a lot going on at once. And usually it's like you're so close to your problem, you're looking for the tools. But simple, be simple, breathe, deep diaphragmatic breaths, ground, imagine yourself plugging in, imagine roots coming from your feet, the bottom of your tailbone, and they're just pulling you down into and connecting to the earth. And just imagine plugging into your energy source. And then imagine yourself as this willow tree. Imagine yourself being able to, whatever comes at you, whether it's wind, whether it's a storm, you're deeply rooted. You're not going to get uprooted. You're not going to snap. You're just going to kind of move with it. Allow it to take you, kind of like being in a river on a raft, right? You just allow it to take you. And it becomes an adventure versus trying to swim up the river, trying to get to where you think you should go and how you think it should be. Let the flow of life take you. And so that, because a lot of what I'm passionate about teaching is how perfectionism can turn into self-sabotage. And perfectionism comes from a mindset of judgment, a mindset of it's not enough, you're not enough, you're an imposter, you have to work harder, you have to give more, blah, 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 blah. And it's constantly making the goal and then having the carrot just keep moving. Every time you're about to reach that goal, you just, you make it further out. That is setting anyone up to fail, right? We can't be sustained by constantly being whipped and not getting anything, not celebrating, that little boy or girl inside needs to be celebrated, needs to be loved, needs to be honored, needs to be cherished, needs to be valued. And we want that from the world, and the world will give it to us when we give it to us. When we stop and we give grace to ourselves first, right? We can't give grace to other people if we don't know how to give it to ourselves, because then we just don't know how to, right? We can pretend that we give to other people, and we do to the best of our ability. But if we can't give it to ourselves, then we really don't know how to, right? So it's starting to invest here. It's starting to, catch that limiting belief and say, that's not the truth. Just like you would if these bullies were coming over and picking on your child who's 3. It's the same thing, except that the bullies are your thoughts. So that is what I want to talk about today, is catching those negative beliefs, catching those bullies. Get a fly swatter every time. That is not my truth. That is not my truth. And just take a breath and just keep moving forward and focus on what you do well, because you do have secret sauce. I talked about that yesterday. Everybody has secret sauce, and you are lovable, you are valuable, you are perfect, and you are amazing. So tap into that and we get more of that. So I hope you have an amazing day. I love you.